Cancer, welcome to a special reading that is looking at 2020 in review. I'm picking a few cards for maybe what you've learned thus far. I'm recording this in early, I would say, October. And I realized that there was going to be a period of time between mid-November and late January of 2021 where there is an astrological green light, and I'm calling it a green light portal, where all the personal planets are direct. There are a couple of retrogrades in the mix with Neptune until late November and Uranus until mid-January, but they are outer planets, so they don't really have the same personal impact on us. We do look at, when they transit our houses in terms of having a long-term effect in those houses. But in terms of the retrogrades, the personal planets can affect us very noticeably sometimes. And so that's why this is considered a green light period. And so I wanted to pick cards on it, though, instead of just doing the astrological portion of it, just seeing what the cards say, just for fun, always trying to think of new angles, I guess you would say, kind of keep things a little bit more, varied. So in any case, here I go, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you'd like a personal reading, natal chart reading, or anything like that, you can click on the link below after the video and learn more about my different types of readings. I am promoting the whole enchilada, which is a combination of full-length tarot reading and a full-length natal chart interpretation with transits. Okay. It's a special, at a special price, so. Okay. Let's see what it says. So the first two cards that I'm picking are kind of the focus cards for the past and the upcoming period of time. And so I will talk about these other cards as well. These are kind of the influences around you, perhaps, or the things that you have, you are going to experience, the things that you have already learned. Alrighty then. Glad to get some different cards. I was getting some of the same cards over and over again. Okay, so we're looking at the past, and actually what I've been saying is that until mid-November, you probably will be dealing with past events and kind of wrapping up that portion of 2020, and it'll be like kind of this break that it will kind of divide this year. Now, of course, what that means is that there's about 6 weeks of 2020 that is a different type of energy. So you might be like, well, that's not very long, but you know what? 2021 should be a great year. So anyway, the Page of Swords is a card of maybe being very cautious, aware of a situation, documenting something. This is a spy card, so it could be even like, in some cases, I mean, if you have the money to do it, hiring a private eye, but maybe being on high alert and kind of doing your own research about something. If I pick more cards, I can flesh it out a little bit more, but I would say, typically this card would speak to maybe being suspicious about something arousing your suspicions. Arousing your suspicions. And pages can be children, so it can be a child's education that has been, for whatever reason, very significant and important for you to deal with. An example would be if a child is around the age of, I would say about 8, maybe when they're starting to learn how to read, and you're finding out that they have problems with reading and you're trying to get them help. and things like that. If it could be even like a new relationship with somebody who is an air sign. Of all the air signs, I would say Libra is the one that you tend to get involved with. The other air signs are Gemini and Aquarius. And I did joke in another reading once or twice. I said, I bet you there's no one who's a Cancer who's involved with an Aquarius. And I did get at least one person, I think even more, that said, oh no, I'm involved with one. So I stand corrected. And that person, I think, had been involved with for many years with that Aquarian. So that's pretty cool. They probably have a lot of Gemini in their chart or something like that. Or the Aquarian has a lot of Pisces. So I'm going to also bring up these other cards as possible influences as well. But I just want to say about the Page of Swords is that, you're a water sign, obviously, Cancer, and water signs tend to be naturally intuitive. We all have the capacity for being intuitive, but some signs come by it naturally. I mean, especially, major in it, or they can access it very easily. And water signs are definitely at the top of the list. And so the question with water signs is, do you listen to those hunches, or do you kind of dismiss them because you're in denial over the situation? It's funny, when I said the word hunch, I don't know how many people, how many women were into Nancy Drew. And I remember that was one of the words that they kept using over and over again. So she had a hunch, so thinking of that word, I was thinking of how much I love Nancy Drew. So one of the cards that I got was the Queen of Cups. And this is actually your card, This is double water energy. Queens can be water too, and cups. And this is the psychic. This is the, intuitive person, the person who's really tuning into that part of themselves. This is the artist. This is the mother. And again, talking about a child and their learning, a child, maybe being concerned about that and really wanting to protect your child. But by the same token, Cancer mothers, or we could even say fathers, are nurturing their children too. Cancer parents have to watch out that they're not overprotecting their children, because they have such a nurturing instinct that the thought of their child ever experiencing anything might freak them out, anything challenging. But really, you give your child a great gift when you allow them to experience things, I feel. Obviously, helping is wonderful, but sometimes this may be something that they have to go through. And if this is a new relationship that you're involved in, or I'm sorry, it could be like even married for 30 years and you have this hunch, like Nancy Drew, that maybe your partner is not being faithful to you or whatever. And that can wreak havoc on, your emotions in general, but it can also be a situation. I'm sure that people that are naturally intuitive, sometimes they say to themselves, am I just creating this? Am I taking this too far? Because maybe sometimes it does work out that way, that your imagination runs wild. So we have the Page of Pentacles, and this is, sometimes this can be like a student, so it can kind of enhance that Page of Swords. Sometimes it can be a little money that you're getting. So maybe if this is like a child custody thing, and you're dealing with, because pages can be children, so since I have a couple of them here, if there are more than one child, one of them may be more intellectual, and one may be more of an earthy type of sign, the Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, but both of them may be detached. And so you may have to, I mean, if you're dealing with children and leaving a marriage, for instance, or, you know, the relationship with their other parent, they may be much more detached about it than you, and you have to be the one that feels through this and does not, you know, try to get them to feel things that they might not be ready to feel. The Page of Pentacles can indicate a small lump sum, and that money may go to taking a course. And I wouldn't be surprised, the Page of Swords could even be you doing research on something. So maybe this is professional in nature. Boy, that's weird. I don't know if that would get picked up on the mic. Oh, wow. That was pretty loud. I don't know what that was. Something made a sound out there. I actually went out there to the kitchen to see if there was anything, because it sounded like a cap, you know, kind of exploding from a bottle. And I saw the bleach bottle cap, and it was on another counter. I don't know. It was not capped before, so I don't know if that could possibly be it. But anyway, so yeah, so there could be something that you're doing research about, the type of training that you'd like to get. And the Page of Pentacles can even be that practical type of a thing. And then we have the Lover's card. And the Lover's card, obviously, can be a card of some kind of an affair. So I don't know if this would connect to another party, and that this is what you have been suspecting of another party. Page of Pentacles can be a new job. So maybe if you took a new job and then you suspect that your partner was fooling around, maybe that's what it, because you weren't around and they were doing something, I don't know. The Lover's card can indicate that you have to make a choice. And so Page of Swords can be gathering information to best make this choice, whatever this choice is. So let's look at the future, and we'll look at the main, kind of the summing up card, which is a very positive one, the Six of Wands. This is the card of taking your victory lap, Cancer. This can be receiving accolades. This can be, you know, a victory, a feeling of, I don't know if I'd say being vindicated, but being venerated, you know, people, you know, noticing your talents and really appreciating them. So how can this relate to those other cards I just drew? Well, I mean, we could say something like, well, it looks like your professional life is going gangbusters. Maybe your personal life is where there are some things that you feel like there's something going on behind the scenes and you can't put your finger on it, but you can sense it. Like the Queen of Cups, you can sense it, and you suspect that this could be, you know, with the Lovers, maybe there's some funny business going on. Another possibility is that, you know, you have to make some kind of choice that relates to beginning a new training for some other type of work. And I have a feeling that this is of an intuitive or creative, because we also have cards that relate to that. And one of the cards we have here is the Eight of Swords, which is a card of feeling oppressed, but I feel like you're doing this to yourself by what you tell yourself. So maybe you want to move forward, but you feel like you can't. Perhaps you have limited thinking. And so with the Six of Wands, it's like having success that is getting ahead of your mental state. Your mental state has to catch up to the success that you are experiencing. And, it's kind of like when somebody loses weight. They say like a person loses weight and they are getting noticed by others, in a kind of like being attracted to them. And they haven't caught up, their self-esteem hasn't caught up with that sort of thing. So they still feel like they're overweight inside, and they have to get up to speed so that they can feel inside what they look like outside. So something like that, where you have to still build yourself up. And it's about telling a different story to yourself. It's what you tell yourself that matters. And then we have the Magician, which I love this card so much. This is about self-empowerment and this idea of being the captain of your own ship and being able to rely on yourself for the things that you want and not have to depend on other people for it, and being autonomous, that kind of thing. That's really what magic is. Magic is about, creating something from nothing. That's kind of like alchemy, and being able to do that isn't some kind of random woo-woo kind of behavior. It can be, based on good old-fashioned hard work, but there's like a sense of directing your energy in a certain area and not just, being, unintentional, but being very intentional about it. And that's what I love about the Magician, is that it's like being a co-creator. And like I said, the Queen of Cups is a very creative card. And then we have the Moon card, which can be about creative endeavors, but also the, the intuition. And this is a card that can really be about, I know there's something going on, and I know it's going to be revealed at some point. You're actually going to have, this could be a timing card too, of when you will start to see your life really shift in 2020. And this may be at the very, tail end of the year, Cancer, because you're going to have a full moon in your sign on the 29th of December. So almost at the, very close to New Year's Eve. And it's going to be, I believe, at 8 degrees of Cancer. So that can be a time of really letting go of some aspect of yourself to make room for what you want to bring into 2021. And also to, I feel like, I think more than anything else, too, is reveal what may be hidden and what may have been kind of below the surface and comes to the surface. The full moon can bring out these things. If there's deception, if there's confusion, kind of shining a light on it. Okay, that's what I have for you. And by the way, you're ruled by the moon, so that makes sense too. So I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, please click on the link below for more information. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.